Welcome to the SA Podcast. Sit back and enjoy our deep dive into cybersecurity topics and trends.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something really critical. It's about the urgent need for solid cybersecurity in Cambodia's financial sector, which is digitizing incredibly fast. We've been looking at a great piece from SA Solutions for Asia, very insightful. Our goal here is to figure out why a Security Operations Center, SOC, isn't, a nice to have anymore, why it's essential for Cambodian banks. We'll look at the risk of doing nothing and then how banks can actually build one. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is incredibly timely. Cambodia's growth is impressive, and this digital push, especially in finance, is huge. But with all those opportunities, well, new risks inevitably follow. And for banks, these risks are amplified. We're not talking small stuff. The immediate danger, and the article makes this clear, is that without a SOC, banks are just wide open, vulnerable to cyber attacks that could be, frankly, devastating. It could really shake confidence in this whole digital transformation.
That definitely sets a serious tone. So let's talk specifics. These threats, they evolve so fast, don't they? Are there particular kinds of attacks cropping up that are hitting Cambodia harder? Maybe things linked to how quickly digital payments and fintech are growing there? What does the article say is particularly worrying for these modernizing banks?
Good question. And yes, the speed and the way these threats are targeted, that's key. First up, ransomware. And look, it's not just about locking files now. These attackers often steal sensitive data before they encrypt anything. That really ups the ante. For Cambodia, recovery is one challenge, sure, but managing that reputational damage in a market that's learning to trust digital, that's huge, especially if resources are tight.
Right. Double jeopardy almost. Data stolen and systems locked.
Exactly. Then you've got phishing and fraud. Always a problem, but the campaigns get smarter all the time. They're designed to slip past defenses, often playing on, human error. In a place where digital literacy is still developing across the board, maybe employee training hasn't quite caught up with the attackers' tricks. Makes them very effective.
But the human element is still a major way in.
Always. And that ties into data breaches. We're talking theft of customer bank details, personal info, transaction histories, sold on the dark web. What's fascinating here is, as Cambodian banks add more digital services, the sheer amount of data grows, and it's all interconnected. So one breach can have a much bigger, more catastrophic impact than it might have done 5 years ago, affecting potentially everyone.
Yeah, the blast radius gets bigger.
Definitely. And finally, don't forget insider threats. This isn't always someone malicious trying to steal data. It could be accidental. An employee clicks the wrong link, a contractor misconfigures something. The article suggests that with rapid expansion, you really need strong internal checks and ongoing security awareness. These internal slip-ups can be just as damaging. The core vulnerability really is the lack of real-time visibility and response. Without a SOC, banks are essentially flying blind against these fast, varied attacks. They just can't react quickly enough.
Okay, that paints a pretty worrying picture. These are definitely active risks, not just theory. But, thinking about potential resource limits, maybe for smaller banks. Is it feasible? Does the article talk about the cost? I mean, what really happens if a bank says, we can't afford a SOC right now? What are the tangible consequences? For the bank, yes, but also for its customers.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture, the fallout isn't just contained to one bank. It affects the whole digital economy, public trust, everything. First, naturally, is the increased risk of financial losses. And it's not just about funds being stolen directly, though that happens. It's the massive cost of cleanup, forensic teams, getting systems back online, maybe even ransom payments. It adds up incredibly fast. Over $12 billion lost by financial firms to cybercrime in 2023. For a growing Cambodian bank, a hit like that isn't just a loss. It could be, an existential threat. And it shakes confidence across the market.
Wow, $12 billion globally. That's a stark warning.
It is. Second, there are regulatory penalties and compliance failures. The National Bank of Cambodia has regulations, and then there are international standards like PCI DSS for card payments. You have to comply. No SOC likely means you're falling short on those requirements, and the result could be heavy fines, sanctions. I mean, they could even pull your banking license. That's not just a penalty, it's game over.
So a direct threat to their ability to even operate.
Absolutely, which flows right into the third point, loss of customer trust. A bank's reputation, especially when people are just getting comfortable with digital banking, it's incredibly fragile. One serious data breach, That trust can evaporate overnight. And what happens then? Customers will just, leave. They'll go somewhere they feel their money and data are safe. It erodes confidence, not just in that bank, but potentially in the whole system.
Yeah, trust is hard won and easily lost in finance.
Precisely. And the final point is operational disruptions. Just imagine. You're running a business, you rely on online payments, maybe point of sale systems, and suddenly your bank services are down. Not for an hour, but maybe days. Chaos.
Total chaos. Cyber attacks can shut down online banking portals, ATMs, transaction processing. Those consequences are significant, truly devastating potential. It really drives home the point that inaction isn't a viable option. So if a bank gets it, they understand the urgency. What's the next step? How do they actually build this defense? Because knowing you need a SOC is one thing, but implementing it effectively seems like a complex task, right? Good SOC means 24/7 monitoring, rapid response, building that resilience. How do they practically get there?
First step. Start with a risk assessment. You have to know what you're protecting and what you're protecting it from. This means identifying your critical assets, customer databases, payment systems, internal networks, all that. Then figure out the specific threats most likely to target those assets in the Cambodian context. Is it a particular type of ransomware? Are insider risks higher for certain systems? You need that specific intelligence first.
Makes sense. Know your enemy, know yourself.
Precisely. Second, you have to decide. Build or outsource your SOC. Building in-house means hiring specialized cybersecurity people, investing in the right tech, like some tools. Security information and event management. Think of it as the central brain. It collects logs and alerts from everywhere, network, servers, applications, and correlates them to spot suspicious patterns.
Got it. So build needs people, tech, ongoing training.
Right. It's a big commitment. The alternative is using managed SOC services, partnering with a specialized cybersecurity firm, maybe a regional or a local one. This could be more cost-effective, especially initially, for many Cambodian banks. Often, a hybrid approach works best. Maybe use a managed service, but also start building some internal expertise, especially for responding to incidents. You need someone in-house who understands what's happening.
Okay, so assess, then decide on the model, in-house, outsourced, or hybrid. What's next?
Third is deploy advanced security tools. This is the tech layer. Then there's EDR endpoint detection and response. This is like advanced antivirus for laptop servers, etc. It doesn't just look for known viruses. It watches for suspicious behavior and can isolate a machine automatically if something looks wrong.
Proactive, not just reactive.
Exactly. And increasingly vital is AI and behavioral analytics. These tools learn what's normal for your network and users, then flag anomalies, weird login times, unusual data transfers. It helps catch threats that traditional tools might miss.
So smart tools are key. What else?
Fourth, and this is absolutely critical, train employees and conduct cyber drills. Like you said, people can be the weakest link or, with the right training, your first line of defense. Regular training on recognizing phishing emails, safe browsing, password hygiene, it's non-negotiable. But beyond that, you need incident response drills. Simulate an attack. See how your SOC team, your IT staff, even your communications team reacts. Can they follow the plan? Can they respond quickly and effectively? Practice makes perfect, or at least much better.
Yeah, fire drills for cyber attacks, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And the fifth practice is collaborate with regulators and other banks. Cybersecurity isn't something you can win entirely on your own. Share threat information with bodies like CamCert, the Cambodia Computer Emergency Response Team. Join industry groups. Talk to other banks. Knowing what threats others are seeing helps everyone prepare. It builds a kind of collective immunity. This raises an important question, or rather, highlights how each step supports the others. It's not just one thing, it's the whole integrated system working together.
That's a really clear and actionable framework. Assess, decide the model, get the tools, train the people, and collaborate. It sounds like a continuous cycle, really. So wrapping this up, we've gone from Cambodia's digital boom and the growing cyber threats, looked at the potentially dire consequences of not acting, and now laid out a path to building that crucial defense. For Cambodian banks, a SOC is absolutely a necessity, not some optional luxury.
Precisely. Is your bank prepared for the next cyber attack? Request your CTO to conduct a simulation exercise tomorrow. The answer will be clear to you and your management team immediately. That's quite a direct call to action, isn't it? Really makes you think about preparedness in concrete terms.
It certainly does. A powerful final thought. Thank you so much for breaking all that down for us. And thanks to all of you for tuning into the Deep Dive. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.
This Deep Dive is brought to you by SA Solutions for Asia, empowering you and fortifying your cybersecurity knowledge. Thanks for joining us on the SA podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and share, or leave us a comment, and get in touch with us for all your cybersecurity needs. SA Solutions for Asia, empowering you and fortifying your cybersecurity knowledge.